Imagine if you double your family size, you have 3 younger brother and sister. That would be horrible. You need to get a minibus to carry the whole family. Youthful population means the population is dominated by the young dependent. So 0 to 15 or under 15. So again, this definition is for the world in general. So global in general, not really specifically applicable to the developed country. So if you think about Hong Kong as an example, 15 years old, you are probably still in school. So you're not economically active. You're still young dependent, probably until 21, 22. So not really applicable to country with high education level in general. Okay, but for youthful population, the young people dominate the population more than old dependent and compared to the economically active people. Yeah, so we have a very typical pyramid shape in the population pyramid because a wider base, or in this case, bottom heavy population pyramid. So this question we ask, okay, any problems with that? So quite a lot in terms of different aspects. So let's talk about demographic impact. High birth rate, naturally, because young people tend to give birth to more. And if you think about the fertility rate, calculate 15 to 49. And in general, people do not really give birth after 40 years old or late 30s. More likely to be around the range of 25 to 35. That is the peak range, at least in the developed country. So a high birth rate means we are going to have overpopulation because keep producing newborn babies, right? And then eventually it could result in that situation, not a must, not necessarily. So the economic impact could be high cost of providing education because a lot of young people, more resources have to be allocated to public education, private education, whatever. And the parents have to spend more money on providing education for their children. Or you can say, oh, they can go to like public school for free. So that could be the case. And you also have to consider whether there are enough quotas for public education. So that's another question. Insufficient jobs, so competition. Again, demand and supply, if you think about it. Jobs vacancy or availability is like price. So when we have higher demand, lower supply, then people have to compete for it. That's why there is a job shortage. Not enough jobs for the number of graduates. So they have to compete. Maybe they have to be better. Maybe do further studies in order to be more qualified. So higher competition, not necessarily a good thing, but to society, to the economy, might be a good thing. Not good for individual, but good for society in general as a whole. High youth dependence, so on the economic active. Again, imagine if you double your family size. Let's say you have 2 sisters, right? Now let's say you have 3 younger brother and sister. Double your family size, that would be horrible, right? So you need to get a coach, right? Like a minibus to carry the whole family. So the food consumption would increase. Your house probably need to increase the size, and a lot of spending would increase, right? So that's the situation. If you are wealthy enough, if you have enough resource, no problem. But if the household resource is limited, that become a big problem. So that's part of the reason why in countries with higher cost of living, people tend to give birth to less. Yeah. And no tax revenue for government because children are not working. So they can't collect tax from children compared to economic active. People cannot work because they have to look after the children. So one big evidence or example would be pandemic. A lot of women, female labor, quit the workplace in order to look after the children because they couldn't find care worker like childcare, daycare, especially in the Western world. Less so in Hong Kong because Hong Kong have a culture of hiring maid, right? Domestic helper. So Yeah, and that's a problem. If nobody's looking after the children, the parents have, either one of them have to quit or spend more time, because legally you cannot leave children under 12, I think under 12, at home alone. So leaving children home alone is illegal. So to the parents. So I'm not sure whether people still do it, but if you get caught, you'll get penalized financially or probably get sent to jail if it's a repeated behavior.